Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for stopping by for this collection video. My name is Bill, Start to Continue YouTube channel, STC Pod, the podcast. We're going to show you the Bob Dylan CD collection. We're going to pepper in some books. We're going to pepper in some DVDs, some Blu-rays. Strap yourself in, because this is going to be a bit of a haul. I've been collecting Bob's stuff. I first found Bob in high school in grade 9. I've been collecting ever since, so that's a long time. So we better get started because we got a lot to get through. This is CDs now. If you're looking for the vinyl, that's going to happen on the Vinyl Collection live show at some point in the future. There's a series we got going on the channel where a bunch of us get together and flip through our vinyl collection. That's where you'll see that. So subscribe to the channel, hit the subscribe, hit the like, do all that fun stuff. I appreciate it. I very much appreciate it. Thank you very much. And let's get moving along. So a lot of these CDs, this is getting old. These are when CDs first started coming out. You recall that the record company pumped these out pretty quickly with some remastering that's not the greatest. So, of course, Columbia wanted us to buy them all again as SACDs. You will see one of those in this collection. Maybe two. I'm not sure. The rest of these I kept with the originals. And we have mostly a complete anthology here. We'll see as we go along. So there's album number 1. Look how young he is there. Isn't that something? After that, we get into Freewheeling with Suze on the cover. Walking down New York City. Yeah. So these early CDs, we didn't get much. Let's just pop this open and see what's in here. Well, at least there's a bit of a write-up here. Yeah, they go through the songs. This is from the original vinyl, this write-up, so that's good. They actually did that. That was number 2. And now we have our first double of the collection. So there's the first one and the third one right there. For some reason in this collection. This came to me from my buddy Luke, who got me a whole bunch of Bob stuff. So that's where the doubles are going to come from. And yeah, let's just do a little A/B test here. So there's the older one, and there's the newer one, and then the back, they actually put some more thought into it for the newer one, which is cool. This is from 2005, so I don't know if this is the SACD remix. Probably is. The disc looks really cool too. And we got some more stuff in the book. Let's see what's in here. We can't go through every CD. This is going to be a 2-hour-long video. I'm just curious what's in here. So got more pictures and yeah, another write-up. So there's that one. That's the double, the new double from 2005. What do you guys think? You got to go with the newer one, right? What do you do? Turf the older one? And there's the newer version of that. We got graphics on the back this time. Playing Columbia CD in there with another booklet. Okay, let's just take a quick look at the booklet. We can't be doing this. There's too much to go through. However, I haven't seen this different artwork, so then you got a lyric sheet, studio shot there. So that's cool. So the times they are changing. That's the third third disc, third CD, third album, and that was part of a 2-pack of this bonus compilation thing they did. So here's my original Times They Are Changing from back in the day. You can see it's super plain. They just slapped this together. Oh, it's price code R for some reason, whatever price code R is. And yeah, plain silvers, produced by Tom Wilson back in the day. And here's the difference of the book. Like, get out your glasses and read that. So that's my original silver. So what, do you get rid of these and keep the newer one? I don't know. Fourth album, another side of Bob Dylan. Produced by Tom Wilson. What's that say? Not for distribution or sale outside of Canada. And just take a quick look in here. This is good to check because, you know, these have been in and out of vehicles with me for years. So it's a miracle that the discs are still here. And you got the tiny words going on there. A little bit of an insert. And these weren't cheap in the day when they came out. Oh, we moved to my favorite Bob album. Bring It All Back Home. I love the cover. Sitting in Albert Grossman's living room with his wife. There's the back. Whoa, look at that. This happens with CDs. The little thing breaks. What are you going to do? Got the silver. Let's just take a look at everything they gave us in the book here. That's the entire CD book that we got originally, when this originally came out. Yeah, you got your electric numbers, you got your acoustic numbers. Just a perfect album. I love it. You can tell I love it because that was the only one that I spent the extra bucks on to get the SACD version. So that's the Super Audio CD version that Sony came up with. A new format for us people who love buying music over and over again. They remastered them. The remaster is great. Sounds great. Voice is brought up in the mix. It's not drowned out. Everything, the mixing is really good. But these were super expensive when they came out. And they wanted you to buy an SACD player to go along with it, which I did not do. But I bought this so I could experience the new mix, which they promised to be excellent. And it was. It was audibly different. So you got a few extra. This is a little bit better of a booklet than what they gave us originally. Still, for what they wanted for this album, I can't remember. I just know they were super expensive. And you know, they wanted us to buy the whole library over again. They got me on this one, so I got that one. And as well, we have another one. This, again, I think this is a Luke double from the Luke collection, we'll call it. So this is from 2003. When was the SACD? 2003, yeah. So this is the new remastered mix. It's just not a Super Audio CD. It's a regular CD with the new mix. And we saw what the first two booklets are. Let's see if this one's any different. Hold on here. I know I said I wouldn't go through all the booklets. Okay. It's the same thing. It's got his Fender there. So that's 3 versions of this. Which one do I keep of that one? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. What would you do? What are you planning to do? Woof. Like, if that last one was my favorite, this has to come up pretty close as well. Highway 61. And you see this has been through a lot of plays. That's kind of what happens. You got this, you're changing CDs in the car. Back in the day. Okay, I said I wouldn't look through these, but... Oh, check that out. A little notation of how to play Desolation Row for the guitar. B7. And you got one sheet. Oh, it's interesting the things we find in here. B7. Yeah, I guess. I would just do a straight up B, I would think. If I was doing E, A, it'd be a straight up B. Of course, you got Blonde on Blonde. Where is the cover? I'm just noticing. Oh, okay. Yeah. Columbia, Silvers. Here's the cover. It's in here. I made it some wall art here. I had this first edition original pressing Bob Dylan Blonde on Blonde tab book that I found in Ottawa, and it just kind of needed something extra to throw in the frame, so I threw that in there. That's the story behind that. After Blonde on Blonde, got some John Wesley Harding. Not much to talk about. On the back, the book is... Yeah, there's barely anything in the book there. John Wesley. Yeah, I love this. It's a great album. Frankie Lee and Judas Priest. Wicked Messenger. That's good stuff. Okay, I don't have time to editorialize about the music that's on here. Apologies. After that, they put out his Greatest Hits album. We are going chronologically as best as we could. So this is when Greatest Hits Volume 1 would have appeared. And this is what a lot of people had. I think this was kind of the first thing that someone had given me to check out Bob Dylan music was Greatest Hits. So that definitely got me started. That and Volume 2. I think they gave me Volume 2. Anyways, we'll get to that later. So Bob's trying out his new voice, his new singing style, Nashville Skyline. I don't know what this is. The Nice Price. It's right on there, so that means there was no cellophane. And it's got a little tab right there. So was this used? I'm not sure. I don't remember. The booklet. It's nothing in the booklet. It's just one page. Yeah. So we got Johnny Cash appearing on here. Yeah. And they started letting you know that it's what the mastering process is. Analog to digital mastering. After Nashville Skyline, you got New Morning. Another awesome album. You got George Harrison hanging out in the studio for this one. Appears on If Not For You, and George did his own version of Not For You. Let's see, is there anything? That's the book. Nothing. And as I said before, when they started to talk more about how things are mastered with the analog and digital business, they started to standardize it with these codes. You'd find these on your CDs. So it's analog tape, analog mix to digital. Now, after, where are we at? New Morning, that's when Greatest Hits Volume 2 would have appeared in the market. And this had to be my first one because I'm really connected to the tracks on here. Watching the river flow. When I Paint My Masterpiece, You Ain't Going Nowhere, which are different versions than what we hear on the Basement tapes, aren't they? If I recall. And they're really easy to play on the guitar, so I could really swing into it hard on the guitar. And yeah, we got a little book in here. You have this giant, the biggest compilation yet of Bob stuff, and this is all they give you in the booklet. Just a 2-pager. And they had all this room in the tray. They could have done a nice big book in there. Would have been great. However, after Greatest Hits, we have Planet Waves. Planet Waves, the band appears on here, if I recall. Yeah, the band's on here. Robbie Robertson for sure. I remember where I bought this because of this damage here, and there's paper still stuck to the silver. My record store or music store that I shopped at burnt down or caught on fire, and they put the fire out, and anything that was left was all water damage, but they blew it out at liquidation prices, and so that's how I got that. It had water damage. So like I said, he was with the band, did that album, so they put together a live show. Why not? The band Before the Flood. You can see what's on there if you want to focus. Doesn't like those colors. Both discs are in here. That's good. And we got a book. Take a look at the book. The book. Not a book. This is all you get. 2 pages. Again, you had all this room. You had all this room in here, Columbia. Put something in there. Another just pivotal album in Bob's career. Blood on the Tracks. I mean, everyone should have this one for sure. What an amazing album. Tangled Up in Blue, Simple Twist of Fate. I always loved Lily, Rosemary, and the Jack of Hearts. I love songs that tell a story like that. And always trying to figure out exactly what happened at the end. Look at this booklet. Nothing. Nothing. But they wanted you to pay full price for these CDs. So we got it again. We got a double. And this is from 2004. So you got the remix on here. You get better graphics on the back. Must be a Bob picture. You got the album. It's something underneath. You have that picture again in the tray. And you get an actual booklet in here. Not just one page. Let's just see quick. A picture of Bob back there. And then you get the write-up. Would have appeared on the vinyl. A couple more pictures. More pictures. So that's cool. I'll definitely be keeping that. Do I get rid of the original? Because I have that, this probably should have shown up in my bootleg compilation video I did. I don't know if it did because it was on this shelf with this other stuff. This is the bootleg version of Blood on the Tracks, his New York sessions. So he recorded the whole album with a different band before coming up with the official Blood on the Tracks version. So this is just a burner. This was downloaded from the internet. I printed out the artwork. And this is all we had back in the day. Now they did put out an official release of this in the bootleg series. You'll see that later on in the video. If you stick around. Thanks for sticking around this long. What are we at? Almost 20 minutes. We haven't even scratched the surface yet. I apologize. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Love it. You guys know that one, right? Look at that wild party going on this album. The Basement Tapes. With the band, music from the Big Pink. The Big Pink, which I just learned this week, is you can rent it as a cottage. You can go stay in the Big Pink. The Big Pink in Woodstock, upstate New York. Incredibly hollowed ground. It would feel weird walking around in that basement knowing all of this zaniness transpired there. Well, maybe not all these guys, but all those recordings took place. You got a decent little book here. You get some of the artwork that appeared on the vinyl. And a bit of a write-up. Of course, they put out a really good version of this under the Bootleg series as well. We'll see that later on in the video. If you stick around, hit the subscribe button. Desire. He added a violin player, Scarlett Rivera. He got political with the hurricane. God, I love this album. Very Spanish feel to it. Tiny booklet. Nothing much to talk about there. 1975. So, he took... well, this leads into the Rolling Thunder Revue tour, which is a pretty big moment in music history if you follow Bob Dylan. And there's a documentary out on Netflix right now. Check that out. But that brings me to one of the books I wanted to talk about. If I got it here somewhere. Hold on. It's piles of crap. So, during Desire and the Rolling Thunder Revue, he had an author follow him around, Larry Ratso Sloman, and he just documented the entire process. He documented the album getting recorded, documented going on the road, trying to keep up with the band. He was constantly kicked out of the hotel rooms. He was constantly chasing the band because the band manager didn't like press being around, right? So they were constantly ducking Ratso, even though Dylan invited Ratso with them onto the tour. So the book has a funny backstory, a side story of Ratso just trying to keep up with the band and trying to get the big interview with Dylan, much like Almost Famous. If you like that movie, you'll love this book. It's a great book, really good read, behind the scenes on tour with this zany festival that they took town to town, a carnival, where they were shooting a movie at the same time, right? Ronaldo and Clara was being shot at the same time as that tour. Definitely check that book out. Chronologically speaking, now we have Hard Rain, live album. This is the recording of the second leg of the Rolling Thunder Revue tour. The following year, in the spring, things had cooled off a bit. Not as magical as the first leg, but they thought they should get an album out of it, at least. Okay, so next, chronologically, what happened is the next big giant compilation, and that is Biograph. I have this on vinyl too, which you'll see if you tune into the vinyl series that we're doing weekly. So that was, how many discs on vinyl? Was it 5 discs, I think? Here it's on 3 CDs. So there you go, you got that. CDs are running a little bit loose here. That's what those CDs look like. Oh! Lost the CD! Technical difficulties. That one's cool. It's got a little etching of Bob on there. Very neat. The ultimate Bob Dylan album. Now, the other thing that was awesome about Biograph, especially the vinyl version, had this great big book. Bob's interviewed by Cameron Crowe in it. They go song by song, explaining exactly what's going on with every song. And this booklet is the same thing. They didn't skimp on the CD version here. So that is an excellent... You got to get this. You just have to. Now, I don't know... Should find out what year this is. See what kind of mastering. This one happens to be from I'd say 85? It can't be. Well, that's the original copyright. I don't know what. This has got to be newer than 85. Anyways, that's a CD version of Biograph. Happen to have another copy. It's a double. It is awesome though. So that with the vinyl and with that and this, that's 3 times I have this. This one is, it's got the same years and stuff on it. I think it's the exact same thing, same UPC code. This is the Columbia Records first stint at, well, I guess greatest hits to a lesser extent, but this is where we first got unreleased stuff. Bob had been the victim of bootlegging like crazy his entire career. This is the first time they got in the driver's seat and said, we want to give you the unreleased stuff. Well, if you buy it. And so there's regular official stuff on here, but tons of new material. The CDs are exactly the same. So yeah, that's a pure double right there. Excellent, excellent. Everyone should have that. I don't know what I'm going to do with that double. Maybe I should do a contest or something. So they pumped out Down in the Groove. After that, Let's Stick Together. When Did You Leave Heaven? Sally Sue Brown. Death Is Not the End. Some action photo there. We're getting into an area now where you're going to see me missing a few titles that are not in the discography here. Those are probably in the vinyl selection, so you have to stay tuned to the vinyl collection to see when the vinyl stuff comes up. Here's another collection box I have. This kind of works in this area of the timeline. It skips ahead too, but it starts off with, let me see here. It starts off with Oh Mercy. So from Down in the Groove, I skip ahead to Oh Mercy. So there's a few religious gospel-y albums that are missing from the CD versions, but we do have, look for it on the vinyl. Hit the subscribe button. So here you go. Here's these in this strange box set. We have Oh Mercy with the little booklet. No, it's not a booklet. It's a page with our page. And Time Out of Mind and Love and Theft. Yeah. So we're skipping ahead a little bit with this. But Oh Mercy was next, so that's why that's there. And I know you're saying I'm missing some key albums for sure, but they're there. We'll get to them in the vinyl collection. So we skip ahead to World Gone Wrong. Very back to his basics, acoustic action. We're getting to the point now with these releases, with World Gone Wrong, to where I bought new when this came out new. All that other stuff had been out for years, right? Now we're finally caught up in my collecting to buying stuff new in real life. So I was pretty excited when this came out. And stellar guitar work in this. This is back to basic. Bob and a guitar singing folk songs. Love it. So you guys probably remember his appearance on MTV for Unplugged. It's a really good performance. Sounds awesome. It's mastered extremely well. So there's nothing, I can't say anything bad about the MTV show. And I think it really reinvigorated his career, to be honest with you. Got him out there again. Nice big booklet. That's kind of cool. Nice. Lots of stuff there. Lyrics on this side. Well, I guess on both sides. We still had Bucky Baxter with him on guitar. So yeah, and that brings me to our first DVD. Well, I might as well show that. I have to dig for it here. These are not in order. So you got your MTV Unplugged on DVD. And that's how you get your surround sound. So you get a really good recording if you pop this in. 73 minutes. Yeah, 5.1 surround sound. So it's very much worth the purchase price for that to get a decent mix. You get a little add on here for the remasters I was telling you about that they want you to spend the big bucks on, and of course the Bootleg Volume 6. Okay, where are we at? Oof, guys, we're at 30 minutes and halfway through the collection. Maybe we should take a pause. What do you think? 30 minutes sounds pretty big. Let's take a pause. We'll gather up I'll get the rest of the stuff in order, and we'll come back with the next video, part 2. We have all of the Bootleg series to go through. We have his late career discs to go through, and I skipped over some DVDs that I should have showed you from his 60s era, but we'll show that too. And I will start next video talking about this book. This book was my Bible. We'll talk about that and why everyone should have this book next time. So thanks everyone for sticking through this collection video. I hope you liked it. Put a thumbs up on there. Please consider subscribing, please. I don't know if you heard me ask for that before. Hit the subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Lets me know that you want me to keep going in this direction or not. So yeah, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe. Come back next time. We will continue on the Bob Dylan collection. I really can't believe it's been going this long, but what can you do? Thanks, guys. We'll catch you next time. I'm going to turn this off now.